Welcome back to Building Character, where we figure out how to play as your favorite fictional characters in Dungeons & Dragons. Join the Patreon to vote for Black Canary or Zatanna, and like and subscribe for a sweeter Christmas next time you play. Maybe. Today we're building Luke Cage, a very powerful man. One might even call him a strong dude. But I guess when you're virtually impossible to hurt, you don't need to have an alter ego. Seriously, Luke just walks into Latveria by himself to fight Dr. Doom over $200. I'd rip that backstory off for a Ravenloft campaign. What brings you to Barovia? Oh, Stratos me 20 gold. Let's start off with our goals for this build. First, we need to be bulletproof, knife-proof, acid-proof, fireproof, and pretty much every kind of proof except for the 2005 Jake Gyllenhaal movie. Next, we need to be shredded, metaphorically of course. Again, nothing can cut you. Finally, we need... well, really nothing else. Luke studied law, so I guess we'll get a knowledge skill, but this isn't so much a we need to do a million things build, it's a let's do one thing the best we possibly can build. For stats, we'll be using the standard point buy, because really, we need one stat, and it's Constitution. Crank it to 15 so you don't have to worry about dying. Strength next, you're a big guy getting a similar cocktail to Steve Rogers. Pretty cool that your daughter ended up taking the Captain America mantle eventually, it all comes full circle. Dexterity at 13, despite being basically the same size and durability of the thing, you actually move around pretty well. Intelligence, wisdom, and charisma can all stay at 10. You're not dumb, imperceptive, or all that awkward, but you're not all that great at any of those things either. Luke is a human who got cooked in some science experiments and came out well done, meaning that his meat got a little bit tough. That's why we'll give him the tough feat for plus 2 HP for every level you have and every level you get. Bump your constitution and your dexterity with your 2 free points, take investigation for your skill of choice, and the noble background for history and persuasion. Luke isn't actually a noble, but he's pretty well read and good at inspiring people, so just build your own background, but basically make it noble. Maybe for you, noble is more of a description of your character than a background. We'll kick things off as a barbarian. Not that you're all that grumpy, but you're very good at shrugging off physical hits. Barbarians get 2 skills from the barbarian list, like athletics and intimidation, to be big and scary because of how big you are. You're actually kind of a softie. You get to rage, letting you resist bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage for a minute, as well as gaining advantage on strength checks and saves, and extra damage on strength-based attacks. That could be punches, which currently deal 1 plus your strength modifier and damage, or a chain, which I'd probably call a reflavored whip. Whips are finesse weapons, but you don't actually have to use your dexterity modifier with them. You can use your strength. It has reach and deals 1d4 slashing damage. Only homebrewy thing I would add for a chain is give it bludgeoning damage instead. It's really not that big of a deal. Anyway, rage is great for reducing physical hits, but unarmored defense is how you get that real bulletproof skin, making your AC 10 plus your constitution modifier and dexterity modifier when you're not wearing armor. You can push that even higher with a shield, but that's again more of a thing for your daughter. Obviously she's going to take what you did and improve upon it. It's got to make a dad proud. Second level barbarians get to take advantage of their giant health pool with reckless attack, letting you make your attacks with advantage by giving your enemies advantage to hit you. But don't sweat it, nothing can cut you, at least not that deep. Really, fireballs are what you should be more worried about at this point, but thanks to Danger Sense, even that's less of an issue, giving you advantage on dexterity saves against spells and traps you can see, maybe because you dive out of the way, or maybe because you're just kind of fireproof. You can be even more fireproof at the 3rd level barbarian as long as you go totem warrior and pick the bear totem to resist everything except psychic damage while you're raging. But I don't think Luke would try to fight Professor X unless Charles owed him some money. That doesn't seem like a likely occurrence though. Xavier is pretty loaded. 4th level barbarians get another ability score improvement, letting you bump your constitution modifier for plus 1 AC and plus 4 HP because buffing your constitution bumps up your HP retroactively as well. That means 36 plus 3d12 HP at this level, which is so dang beefy. You're like a beef Wellington in a yellow muscle tee instead of puff pastry. 5th level barbarians get an extra attack, letting you attack twice instead of once with your action for a real chain of attacks with your fist or a fist of attacks with your chain. The last one didn't make sense. You also get fast movement to run 10 feet faster every round you're not wearing heavy armor, which checks out. You're in pretty good shape. But you're still not that good at punching, and that's kind of an issue for a character that punches good. So we'll jump over to fighter now for the unarmed fighting style. To deal 1d6 plus your strength modifier with your unarmed attacks, or 1d8 when you decide you don't want to carry the chain. Creatures you have grappled also take 1d4 bludgeoning damage at the start of your turns for a bear hug from a barbarian. You also get second wind, letting you recover 1d10 plus your fighter level as a bonus action once per short rest. You'll have to take damage before this gets useful, but eventually, like 20 rounds in, you could use it. Second level fighters get action surge, letting you make 2 actions in 1 turn once per short rest, which can let you really hammer away with some extra rage damage. You're going to be a tank, Now you can trample people like a tank. 3rd level fighters can choose a martial archetype, and if you thought we were done turning damage down, you thought wrong, because we're going to be a battle master and grab some maneuvers. You get 4 superiority die, which are d8s you can use for 3 different maneuvers. Parry lets you reduce damage by 1d8 plus your dexterity modifier as a reaction when someone hits you with a melee attack. This goes before the resistance, but can whittle the damage down even further. Goading attack forces a wisdom saving throw on a creature you hit of 8 plus your strength modifier and proficiency bonus. Failing that, they have disadvantage attacking creatures that aren't you until the end of your next turn. You're probably better at taking hits than anyone. This will let you defend the defenders. Disarming attack lets you force a dexterity saving throw on a creature to make them drop an object they're holding. Fighting you with weapons is hard, but fighting you without weapons is even harder. You also get to add your superiority die to the damage of both the goading and disarming attacks. Finally, you're a student of war, giving you proficiency with a set of artisan's tools. There isn't really a legal tool proficiency, but penmanship could help. So how about calligraphy? I like calligraphy. Did y'all know that? Have I ever mentioned that before? 4th level fighters get an ability score improvement, letting you cap off your constitution modifier, meaning the least amount of HP you can get every level is +8 if you roll a 1. That's kinda neat. We'll bounce back over to Barbarian now. 6th level Beast Totem Barbarians get another aspect of the beast. Again, bear is best. Picking the bear aspect doubles your carrying capacity, and you have advantage on strength checks to push, pull, lift, or break something. I'm not totally sure what other kinds of strength checks there are, but yeah, you don't have to rage anymore to get those benefits, which means that when you pair it with unarmed defense, you're kind of always Power Man and can become more Power Man-y if you want with the rage. 7th level Barbarians get Feral Instinct, giving you advantage on initiative rolls, so you're even more always ready to go. Instinctive Pounce was added to Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, letting you move half your movement as part of the same bonus action you use to activate your rage. You don't really have a ton of other bonus action things you do, so raging was never really a penalty for you, but it's never a problem to get some extra speed. 8th level Barbarians get another ability score improvement. Let's start investing in strength, because +2 to attack rolls is really sad at this level. Sure, you can't die, but just dealing chip damage isn't fun. And now we need to decide what we want to do for the rest of our levels. Basically, we need to figure out, do we want Indomitable or Relentless Rage for Luke? My initial leanings is towards Relentless Rage, just full out refusing to die by passing a Constitution save. When you're very good at Constitution saves, that's pretty good. But even just at level 12, you're gonna have 96 plus 70, 12 plus 4d10 HP, and 4 minutes of resistance to every type of damage but psychic. So I don't think you're actually gonna get that low all that often. You're much more likely to beef a saving throw, and getting to reroll that with Indomitable would be more regularly useful. There are some other benefits to focusing on fighter. You get more ability score improvements to help us get our unarmored defense higher, and you get another extra attack. Points due to Barbarian, more HP, bigger rage bonuses, and bigger crits. So I'm not saying Barbarian's a bad class, it just won't give us as thick of skin as mixing with fighter. Anyway, 5th level fighter is terrible when you mix it with another martial class because the extra attacks don't stack yet. So, whoops. But 6th level fighters get another ability score improvement. Bump that dexterity up because that'll help with our unarmored defense to give you that ridiculously thick skin. 7th level battle masters get to know your enemy, letting you know a creature's HP, AC, fighter level, total level, strength score, dexterity score, or constitution score after a minute of study. You get 2 pieces of information and know if they're better, worse, or equal to you in those regards. Pretty regularly, your villains get frustrated because they can't hurt you, so they just target your community instead. It might be best if you can figure out as much about them as you can before officially engaging them. You also get another superiority die and 2 more maneuvers. Precision attack lets you add your superiority die to an attack roll to make up for your uncapped strength score. Evasive footwork lets you add your superiority die to your AC as you move, helping you get through some hostile territory unscathed. 8th level fighters get another ability score improvement. We'll keep investing in dexterity since it not only helps with the AC, but also helps with your parry damage reduction to keep you free from damage. 9th level fighters get Indomitable, letting you re-roll a failed saving throw once per long rest. That works for fireballs, mind control, death saves, any type of save you can think of. This works to give you another shot at it. 10th level battle masters get improved combat superiority, bumping your superiority die to a d10, and you can use those on 2 more maneuvers. Grappling strike lets you grapple someone as a bonus action after you hit them with an attack, and add your superiority die to the grapple check. If you're raging, you have advantage on that anyway for a big old bear hug. Commanding presence lets you add your superiority die to a persuasion, intimidation, or performance check, which should help you use your stature for some charm, or, you know, to dance. 11th level fighters get another extra attack, and this one does stack, letting you make 3 attacks with your action, 6 attacks with an action surge, and all of them get a buff from your rage to bust down walls and take down baddies with an iron fist. Also, with your friend. who's named Iron Fist. Our capstone is the 12th level of fighter, letting you cap off your dexterity modifier for 20 AC when you're unarmored like some sort of Iron Man. Now that we've hit level 20, let's figure out how viable this build is. First, we set out to make an indestructible man, and by gosh, I think we did it. You've got 20 AC everywhere you go, 4 minutes of resistance to all but psychic damage, and over 250 HP to prevent you from dying. You're also bringing a ton of strength to the table, with advantage on all strength checks and proficiency with the only strength skill to handle any muscle challenges your party is facing. Finally, you've got a lot of health. I already said that. This build kind of only has 2 things it does. It's thick and strong. For weaknesses, we invested so much in bulletproof skin, you don't actually punch that hard or accurately because of an uncapped strength score. Your soft stats also leave a lot to be desired. You get some proficiencies and methods to help with skill checks, but old person could end up being a big problem. Finally, you don't have any magical damage, meaning that you could be in trouble fighting things with skin as thick as yours. But I want to clarify, if you want a tank, this is a very solid tank build. Take no damage, shrug off any of the damage you do take, and defend the defenders. Just know that you're best at street level threats. Something more cosmic could be dire for a hero for hire, and make them expire. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, subscribe for more. We make 2 videos every week. Join the Patreon to vote for Black Canary or Zatanna, and sub to Tulok and Mango for more Tulok fun.